Hello, hi there, my name's Paul and I'm a teacher at SET English. Okay, and we're here today for the OET All-Stars to do some reading skills. I'd like to talk to you about some experience I've had with with students from all over the world, doctors, nurses, physios, vets, all kinds of things.
Hello.
And you know, what we find is that people have problems with reading, and they seem to have the same problems with reading. Okay, and I'd like to just talk to you about the main skills that I think we need in order to do better in reading. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say hello, hi, who's here? I'm just going to go and check on YouTube who's here, who's saying hello. We've got Asmina. Hello, Asmina from Nepal. Yeah, tell me where you are. Tell me where you're from. Okay. We've got King Lord. Wow, that's quite an impressive name. Okay, King Lord. Brilliant. Where are you, King Lord? Leisure is from India. Hello. Rakesh. Ethel, good to see you. Hello, everyone. Mustafa Akbas. I feel like I recognize that name, Mustafa. I feel like you're one of our ex-students. Okay. And Neetha Frank. Hello, Frank. Nice to see you. We've got Shruti. We've got Sampath. So Ethel and Sampath are in the UK at the moment. Where are you? I'm up in Manchester. Okay, in the northwest. Today was the first day for a long time that I didn't zip up my jacket. So it's the weather has changed definitely over the past couple of days. We've got Machi, who's from Sri Lanka. We've got Beauty from Namibia. That's a lovely name. Hi, Peggy from Ghana. Good to see you all. Hello. Lal Nunthara says from Mizoram or Mizoram. Great. Excellent. Okay. So, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get down to it. Let's get serious. Reading is difficult. Reading Part C is especially difficult. Now, why? Why is Reading Part C difficult? Let me know. Pop in the chat box why you think Reading Part C is difficult. I'd love to hear from you. Hello, Shader. Nice to see you. Hi there. Okay. Yeah, why is Reading Part C difficult? I'd like to hear your opinions on that. Leisure. Okay, Elijah. With God's grace, I passed OET. Thanks, SET OET, for your excellent classes. Brilliant. That's really good to get some positive feedback. Live. Thank you. That's good. So tell me, guys, why is Part C difficult? Frank says time factor. Yeah, okay, I like that. Time factor. That's a good one. Time factor. Time management from Bridget. Yeah, that's good. Not enough time, Patel. Understand the gist from Shiva. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So time stuff, gist stuff. Yeah. I wonder if we've got any more opinions on that. But I think I agree. I think I agree. Okay, so let's talk about that then. Okay, let's talk about that. I'm going to switch now to my study document. Now, on this study document, I've got a number of things. I've got some skills that I want to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to start with skills first. Then what we'll do is we'll move on and we'll talk about vocabulary and something that I call text tools. Okay, so we'll start with this idea of skimming and scanning. Okay, and we won't spend too long on that, but we will spend some time on it because it's useful. And then we'll go on. Now, why is it that people don't have enough time? People don't have enough time because they don't comprehend quickly enough. They don't find things quickly enough. Because people with a really high level, they can skim and scan and find things. They've got great vocabulary, okay? And they understand how a text flows. So we'll talk about skimming first. I wonder if anybody in the class knows what skimming is. What is skimming? We've got some more here. We've got every option is the same. Oh, yeah, Stella, that's a good one. Sometimes it's unfamiliar. Yeah. New words. Excellent. Yeah. Paraphrasing is hard. Yeah. So what is skimming? Tell me what skimming is, guys. Anybody know what skimming is? Go through the text. Yeah. Go through the text. That's a good one. Yeah. Go through the text. Now, someone's already mentioned it in this class. Someone already mentioned. I know there is a little bit of a gap, I think, between what I'm saying and what happens on YouTube. Fast reading, Elijah? Yeah, okay, fast reading's part of it, yeah. Okay, so for me, skimming, yeah, it is going through the text in a fast manner. But we don't just want to go, okay, that's not the point. The point is that we want to get the overall meaning, don't we? That's what we want to do. So what I've got here is I've got a paragraph. And I want us to look at that paragraph and then think, what is this paragraph about? So I'm going to put on my clock here some time. I want to give everyone a minute, okay, 1 minute to read this text and then type in the chat box. What do you think this paragraph is? Okay, 1 minute. And then type in the chat box, what is this paragraph? What is it about? If you had to summarize it. So 1 minute will start now. One minute. Hi, Sylvia. Good to see you. Okay, we've got 30 seconds left. Just type in the chat box what you think the main idea is for this paragraph. Yeah, okay, it's about fibromyalgia. Okay, yeah, it's about it's about fibromyalgia. Okay, fibromyalgia and triggers. Okay, now that feels a bit better. That feels a bit stronger, doesn't it? Fibromyalgia and triggers. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. Yeah, okay. So fibromyalgia and triggers. I like that. Or causes. Some people have said causes as well. Okay, but fibromyalgia on its own, I guess what I'm thinking is, what is fibromyalgia? Okay, and what triggers or causes it? Okay, that's what I think this is about. Okay, but there is a sort of, towards the end of that paragraph, there is a little bit, isn't there, where it says fibromyalgia has some features in common with autoimmune conditions, which I guess is what is fibromyalgia. Down here it says it does not qualify as an autoimmune disorder because scientists have so far been unable to identify the hallmark indicators. Okay, so do we know what causes it? Well, we've got a trigger here, but we're not 100% sure about what it is. Okay, so I think that's something that I would take away. At the end here, we get this note of question. What is it at the end? Okay, there's something that we're not sure about that we haven't been able to manage. So I don't want to spend a long time on skimming. I don't want to spend too much. I think you guys know what skimming is, and you can practice this anytime you like. Okay, this is about how can I improve You can practice this anytime you like. Any paragraph in any text. You can do this, and you can do this with friends, with colleagues, with other students. Okay, so this is something that you can do any time. Read a paragraph, summarize it, and I think that this is a skill that lots of people don't really prioritize. Okay, so that's the first one. That's skimming. I think most of us know. Okay, most of us know here. All right. Now, let's move on and talk about scanning. Okay, let's talk about scanning instead. Let's push this down a little bit and we'll talk about scanning. Okay, so, in fact, let's take that back up. I have got another text. Okay, I've got another text which I've set up for us to have a look at. It's the second paragraph. All right, it's the second paragraph in this text. Okay, it's a Part C text. It's the second paragraph. What I want us to do is have a look at this text, and we're going to look for specific words. Okay, I'm going to show you the text. I'm not so interested at the moment about skimming it. I just want us to do a pure scanning exercise. I want us to look at this text and try and find some words. Okay. Now, we can't draw on the screen here, but I'm going to give everyone a certain amount of time and I'll say where it is. You see if you can scan it as well as I can. Okay, so here we go. Here's the next paragraph. Okay, the next paragraph. Now, I'm going to ask for certain words. Okay, certain words. I wonder if you can find them. Okay, I'm looking for treatments. Can you see the word treatments? Okay, we'll go 10 seconds. Where is it? Where is treatments? Hi, Aurelia, nice to see you. Hi, Adoma, Ina, Moji, good to see you. Okay, treatments. Treatments is down there in the second to last line, isn't it? Right at the bottom right corner, treatments. I wonder if you found that quickly. Okay, I wonder if you were able to scan that and find that quickly. Now, that is one way of scanning. Okay, one way of scanning is what we would call direct scanning. Okay, and direct scanning is where you, let me just put this back up a little bit. Yeah, direct scanning is where you look for a specific word. Okay, you look in the text for a specific word, but there's another type, which is indirect scanning. And indirect scanning is where you're keeping your eyes open and you're looking for ideas or words that can relate or match the idea that's in the question. Okay, remember you're going to be looking at a type of question, a multiple choice. You might have option C. Well, option C might mention medication, and it might say successful medication or successful medical intervention. Well, where we saw treatments in this text, it says effective treatments. So, effective treatments, successful medical intervention, sounds like it matches. So you've got to keep your eyes open for the ideas. Now, I wonder if anybody can find the words in the text from the clues I'm going to give. All right. First one is started. Can you find the word in the text that means the same as started? Can anyone find it, please? Okay. I'm looking for a word that means the same as started. Yeah, Shader was right. Synonyms are good. What word means started? Can you type it into the chat box for me? Yeah, well done, guys. Brilliant. That's great. So what you're doing is you're combining knowledge of vocabulary with the ability to see that a different word can mean the same thing. You scan the text, you found it quickly. Brilliant. Well done. So initiated. That is a great skill to be able to do it. If you struggle with doing this kind of thing, then you need to practice it. Okay, next one. I'm looking for a word that means a part of the body which facilitates sensations. A part of the body which facilitates sensations. Can you see any? Now, as you get to know the text, this gets faster and faster because you're dealing with what you remember from the text. Does anyone know? Yeah, we're starting to see some good answers coming through. Yeah. So keep those answers coming, guys. Okay, so we've got some people saying activity of pain sensing nerves, but I'm looking for a part of the body. Okay, so I'm looking for, I was just looking for nerves, but I think I'm happy with pain sensing nerves, but nerves is what I was looking for. Okay, let's do one more. Here we go. I'm looking for now we know something. Now this one's a bit trickier, guys. Now we know something. What phrase relates to now we know something? Okay, so it's not a direct, it's not a paraphrase, but it relates to now we know something. I wonder if anybody has a feeling of what that could connect to, because it's not always just a paraphrase. All right. Okay, keep coming with your answers. Keep coming with these answers. Okay, so we've got a few different types of answers coming here. Now, this is where it gets a bit more difficult, isn't it? Okay, some people have got the right answer, but we're seeing a range of different answers. Okay, now we know something is related to in light of and new. Okay, now it happens to be study. Okay, but when you say in light of a new something, what that means is we've learned something recently and now we're going to make some different decisions. That's what that means, in light of a new. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say about scanning. Sometimes it's for a specific word, sometimes it can match to the idea, and sometimes it can relate. Okay, it just relates to it. And I think that this is something which can be a bit difficult, and it's based heavily, okay, it's based heavily on vocabulary and what I would call this idea of text tools. Okay, so well done, everyone. We've had some really good answers so far, so keep going. I've got some more questions for us. So let's go to the next part that I want to talk about, which is language. Okay, I want to talk about language. Right. Vocabulary is really important. And I'll pull down that text again. Okay, same paragraph that we've just looked at. Are there any interesting bits of language in here that you think, I'm not 100% sure what that means, or I've seen that word before. I think I know what it means. Or just interesting vocabulary that you can remember learning. Are there any words or phrases here? Type them in the chat box. If there are any phrases, words, vocabulary that you think are high level or difficult, pop them in the chat box. I'd love to see what you think. I can see some already have been posted in. Pave from Sumalatha. Interesting. Pave. And I'll show you what vocabulary I think is important here. Okay. Yeah, Harsha. Pave the way is a good one. Yeah. Pave the way. That's an interesting phrase, isn't it? What does that mean? Pave the way. Okay, we'll go through that one. Yeah, I agree with you. Any other vocabulary that you're not 100% sure on? The Treats says standpoint. Yeah, standpoint is a good one. Yeah. We talked a little bit about in light of. That was a good one. Standpoint, pave the way. Radical is a good one. Yeah, radical's a good one. Yeah, okay. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so I think that these words are the words that a lot of people might not know. And I'm just going to pick these three out. There are other ones in light of a new study, in light of. We've got throughout as well. Throughout is a bit of a tricky one as well. But we'll just talk about these ones, okay, because this isn't just a vocab class. It's just the importance of vocabulary. Okay, so a standpoint is kind of a position, okay, a perspective, okay, almost an opinion, okay. It's a place where we are now with what we have learned, okay. So what else do we know? Okay, right now we believe in gravity, don't we? That's the reason that the moon goes around the earth. Our standpoint on that at the moment is that gravity makes the moon go around the earth. That's our standpoint. It's not just an opinion, is it? It's a bit stronger than an opinion. Okay, radical. Okay, radical means extreme. So if you have radical views, or if you want to make radical changes, then it's very extreme. Okay? And then we've got pave the way. Okay, to pave the way means to allow in future for something to happen. That's what it means. It paves the way. So at the moment, there's a lot of research into cancer. I was reading about it recently. A lot of advances are being made in cancer, and that could pave the way for us to manage cancer like we manage diabetes or like we manage the flu in the future, because we could have medicine based on the research that's being done now. So research is being done now that can pave the way for something to happen. And that comes from, if you think about a pavement, okay, when you pave, what you're doing is you're putting stone on the floor so people can walk somewhere that they couldn't walk before. That's the idea. Okay, so that's a really nice idiom in English, not an informal idiom, a good idiom. Okay, so what do we think about vocabulary? Okay, we have to keep improving our vocabulary. Okay, and I'm going to give some general advice at the end about these things, okay? But we have to keep improving it. It's not just for Reading Part C, it's for all of OET. Just keep improving it. I've been doing listening classes this week as well, okay? And in my listening classes, vocabulary has been a big issue as well, and that's in listening Part A. So all of the exam requires better vocabulary. Keep going. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you about something that you probably won't see anywhere else. This is just the way I look at things, okay? What I've realized, because I've taught hundreds and hundreds of Reading Part C classes. I've taught hundreds and hundreds of them. And what I've found is, if I could pull that back up here. What I've found is that people struggle with certain types of phrases and they struggle with comprehension. Okay, let's put that down there. Okay, people struggle with comprehension. Now, earlier on, some people mentioned that time pressure is a difficult thing to deal with. Time management is not easy. Okay, well, I agree with that. And my question often to my students and other students that we ask this question often at SET is, why? Why can I manage my time? What do you think? Sumalatha, Bindu, Asmina, Mary OET Education, Bruna. Why can I manage my time? Why do you think that is? Why do you find it difficult, but I don't? What kind of opinions do we have on that? Why can I manage my time, but you feel like you can't? I'm waiting for my favorite answer. Anyone who's an SET student will probably not give this answer. I'm hoping they won't. But maybe people that are not SET students might give this answer. It's a bit of a trick question. Why can I manage my time? Oh, actually, we're getting some really good answers here. So exam stress, yeah, I guess that, yeah. New vocabulary slows you down. Okay, you're slow at reading. So Lal Nanthara, Sylvia Pinto, why are you slow at reading? Why am I fast? Why are you slow? Now, what people often say is that I'm a native speaker of English. And yes, I get that. Okay, so what do natives have? Natives have excellent vocabulary, but they also have something else. They've got grammar as a foundation. Okay, we don't have to learn our own language's grammar. We just have it from a very early age, just like you do. Yeah, okay. In your language, if it's Turkish or French or German or Greek or Mandarin, you have the grammar inbuilt. Now, I've got this idea about comprehension, and it's text tools. And what this is, this idea of text tools is a combination of grammar and phrasing. Okay, grammar and phrasing. And there's no easy way to describe what it is, but I can give you some examples. Okay, so let's look here at this paragraph again. We'll read it together. This standpoint looks set to change, however, in light of a new study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation. The study, led by Dr. David Anderson from the Institute of Psychiatry, Psychology and Neuroscience at King's College London, has found that fibromyalgia may be initiated by an autoimmune response that increases the activity of pain-sensing nerves throughout the body. These radical findings could potentially pave the way for more effective treatments for the millions of people affected. Okay, that's a nice paragraph. That's a good paragraph. I like that paragraph. Okay, if I had to skim that and think, okay, what does that mean? I'd be thinking, okay, we've learned something new that could change the future. That's my skim. We've learned something new. It could change the future. All right, so that's my overall purpose. All right. Now, what people probably don't get or realize when they're doing their practice, if what you're doing is just doing mock tests and you're just doing part C question, part C question, part C question, then you're not really doing what you should do. The way that part C works is it combines ideas. It builds ideas on top of each other. All right? It connects something from this sentence with the sentence that came before. And there are some phrases here which are really important for that. Okay, and I'm going to show you them one by one. Okay, first thing, this standpoint. This standpoint. It's the first phrase in this paragraph. This standpoint. Now this word, this, that's a referencing word. It's so important in OET that you understand what referencing is. Not just to understand the paragraphs and comprehend things, but also the questions. The questions often have this, that, these, those, there. They quite often have it. So can anyone tell me in the text, in the chat box, what is this standpoint? What is this standpoint? It's not an easy question. I wonder if anyone can answer that for me. I'll be interested. So there's an opinion, harsher. Yeah, there's an opinion. True. But what else? What opinion is it? Does anyone know? It's a hard question, isn't it? I don't think many people have got a good answer for this one. Idea, clinical investigation, but which opinion is it? So keep giving me your ideas. Which opinion? About fibromyalgia. Okay, yeah. Alison, I like it. About fibromyalgia. The tricky thing here, guys, is that this standpoint, yes, Moji's there. Okay, Moji's there. What we're talking about is what we saw in the first paragraph, which is here. Okay. Many researchers believe that sufferers have a genetic predisposition to the illness. That's what we're talking about. Oops. Okay, here. All right. So it's an interesting one. We've got multiple opinions here. We need to go back in the text and find something that came before. That's what referencing is. Okay. It refers to an opinion or a standpoint or a view in the previous paragraph. And it's not an easy thing to be able to do. Okay. It's a difficult thing. But words like that are really important. This is the kind of thing that we practice a lot at SET. Okay, let's look at another one. However. What is however for? What do we use however to do? What is however used to do? Harsha says however is but. Yeah. Kirimi says it's a contrasting word. Yeah. To express an opposite idea. It's a connector, absolutely, to contradict. Well, Frank, that's an interesting one. It's not always a contradiction. It's not always a contradiction, but yeah, in this case it is. All right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to show an opposite idea. An opposite idea, or they're trying to show a surprising result of something. That's what however's used for. So we heard something in the previous text. In the previous paragraph, it said that some people think that it's an autoimmune, but we can't find any results for that. We can't find any proof or evidence for it. And then it says this standpoint looks set to change, however. Now that word, however, that could easily have gone here. Okay, that's where I would put it. I would normally put however there. I wouldn't put it here in the middle because it's complicated. But still, it's in the middle, and that's something that we need to be aware of. Okay, we're showing contrast with what we learned from the previous paragraph. All right, so that's good, great everyone. So next, what's the next thing that we see? The study. Now, I'm not going to waste anyone's time on this one. It's quite an easy one, but still, we've got the. The is the definitive article. And what that does is it refers to something that we already have heard about. So the study must be the one that was mentioned in the previous sentence. So look at how this works. Look at what's happened. Look at what OET are doing with these Part C texts. This refers to an idea in the previous paragraph. This refers to an idea in the previous sentence. And what you are expected to do is to keep building these ideas up so they become more and more complicated, and then you're supposed to answer a question about it. These are what I would call text tools. Okay, these are text tools. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, I've got one more. In fact, I think I've got a couple more. Now, you might think, okay, this is not important. Okay, but for me, I look at this and I think, okay, led by, that's here, isn't it? Led by. Does anyone know what this is? All the way along, does anyone know in terms of grammar what this is? I wonder if anybody's aware of what that is. Bit of a grammar question, guys. A bit of a grammar question. I wonder if anyone knows what that is. I'm not asking what it means. Someone said comparison. It's not a comparison. What is this? Conducted by... Okay, I'm not asking what it means, guys. Remember, I'm not asking what it means. We all know what led by means. Performed by, conducted, the person who is responsible. But what is it? I look at this, okay? I look at this section, and my mind as a teacher, I'm thinking there's a comma there and there's a comma here. Now, do I need that? What if I just put a red line through it? Okay, what if I just did this? Is it really important for me to have that in the text? I would just say the study has found. That's what I'm thinking. Nobody's mentioned it yet. No one's mentioned it. This is called a relative clause, but it's a reduced relative clause. Okay, so if we think about what's missing here, okay, what it's basically saying is which was led by. Which was led by. It's called a non-defining relative clause, and we don't need to have it. For me, if I'm doing my reading here, as soon as I read led by, my brain just does this. No, not interested in that. What I'm interested in is finding what the next verb is. I want to know what happens in this sentence, so I go, the study has found that. So I don't care who Dr. David Anderson is. I want to find out what the point of it is. So if you're wondering, why is it that natives can go faster, manage their time better? We know what we don't need to read. Do I really need to know where Dr. David Anderson works? Do I need to know that? What department he works in? No, I don't. So for me, in my mind, that's gone. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I recognized immediately that it was a relative clause that I don't need. Okay? So that's useful. Now, what about this bit? These radical findings. It's down here. Does anyone know what these radical findings means? What's these radical findings? That's a strange phrase, isn't it? What is this an example of? One last question, guys, before I give you a bit of general advice. Okay, this is the last question. These radical findings, what does it mean? Result of that study. I like that, Harsha. Harsha, you're very fast. I bet you get some good scores. Let's have a few important results. An important result. It's reference, Bruno, isn't it? It's reference, isn't it? Okay. These radical findings as the findings of the study. Okay. So they must be in this previous sentence. So the study has found that fibromyalgia, let's use a thinner pen, and let's use blue. Okay, has found that fibromyalgia may be initiated by an autoimmune immune response that increases the activity of pain-sensing nerves throughout the body. These radical findings. Okay, so it's the findings of the study. Now, I know it's not particularly difficult in this text. I didn't choose a very complicated one for us to do today. But what I'm trying to say is that we've got referencing again. All right? Here, referencing. Here, relative clause. Here, referencing again. And what I have found in my experience is that it's referencing and contrast that seems to cause the biggest problems for students. All right? Because OET is constantly trying to check whether you understand the ideas in the text. And if you don't recognize contrast, if you can't accurately find what things are referencing, then you're going to have trouble. And if you combine that with having a lack of vocabulary, it's a problem. Okay. So I wanted to give you some general advice. Okay, some general advice. 1, read. Just keep reading. Don't stop reading. Okay, read all the time. Read anything. Read newspapers, read magazines. Keep picking up that vocabulary. All right? Practice your grammar continuously. Stay sharp and pick up new tricks. I don't mean 3 hours a day looking at past continuous. I just mean every day. Open a book like English Grammar in Use. Okay, just do a page every day. Stay sharp. The example I often use is cricket. Okay, I don't know if you like cricket or if you like football. Think of a famous sports person. All week they practice the basics. Passing, throwing, jumping, straight forward defensive. Okay, and then on the day of the match, they do amazing things because they can rely on the basics. Okay, when you get new vocabulary, record it in a useful way. Okay, write it in a book. Okay, keep a record of it. Keep lists of vocabulary so you can ask people to challenge you to do it. Ask someone that you know to say, Choose 10 words. Okay, also scanning and skimming. Practice with friends. Not skimming, not skinning. Practice with friends. It's so easy. All you have to do is find a text and decide, okay, I'm going to choose some words from this paragraph. My friends can choose words from another paragraph. All right. And also get help. Okay. So at SET English, okay, we do classes like this all the time. We do reading classes every day. Part A, Part B, Part C. We do a lot on language, on comprehension and vocabulary. We do loads and loads of classes on it. Okay, so that's my advice. Come and find us. Send us a message. Pop a message here in the chat box if you're interested. If you've got any questions about OET, you can send me an email. I'll pop it into the box. Okay. So it's www.set-english.com. That's the website, and you can contact me easily by just doing paul@set-english.com. If you want this study document, I'd be happy to give it to you. All right. Just get in touch if you need any help. All right. Okay. So that's me. Really nice to see you and speak to you all today. Have a really good week, or a great day, really good week. And if you're taking your test soon, best of luck. Hopefully you won't need our help. But if anyone does need our help, please get in touch and come and find us. Okay.